Hello everyone, Mr. G here. In this part of the tutorial, we are now going to utilize the personal access token that you generated from the last video and use it to link Git and GitHub together so they know about each other. So to start out, I want to reiterate, make sure that you've copied this token and you've maybe put it somewhere else, like a little notepad here temporarily. You don't necessarily need to save the notepad because we're not going to need it after today, but we want to make sure we have access to it in a few minutes. And I'm going to leave this tab open and open a new GitHub tab. So I'm opening a new tab, go to GitHub, and we want to open our repository. So along the left side here, we have recent repositories. Hopefully it'll show up in here. If you use GitHub a lot, you might have already lowered it down, so you might need to click show more, or you might even need to potentially search for it. But you're looking for this one, Windsor CT Computer Science / Git GitHub Fundamentals, and your username, mine being Jay Gazakis. So I'm going to click on that and open that repository. And here I should be able to see the README, the one that you read as an assignment a few days ago. And now I really care about this button right here, the green button that says code. It's going to automatically kind of pick HTTPS here. We could potentially change that, but HTTPS is going to work fine for us. And now to reiterate, make sure you have this other tab open and or make sure you've copied the token somewhere because we're about to overwrite it. So we're going to copy this link. And now I want to go into Git Bash, but importantly, I want to run it as an administrator in order to make sure it can access the places that it needs to go. So if you end up getting an error when we do this, consider first checking to see if you've opened it as an administrator. At this point, we're going to use the command git clone, and then we're going to paste that link that we had in here. Don't forget, the shortcut for pasting is Shift Insert. And it'll paste in our link. We're going to click enter. It's going to clone for a few seconds, then hopefully it's going to open a window. There we go. So this window is what we want. So it's GitHub sign in. We want to click on token. GitHub doesn't really support the browser device sign in at this point. So we want to use token, and it's asking us to put the personal access token here. So I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to copy it, or I could have gone back to this web page and clicked copy. And I want to paste that in. That you can just use Control V for or right click paste if you'd like. And I'm going to click sign in. And if all goes well, it should say it's doing some things, enumerating, counting, compressing, and then it should say resolving, done. Now that means that hopefully we have linked Git and GitHub together, something we're going to test out very shortly. One thing to note, if you have trouble with the token, some people, when they pasted it into Notepad, ended up with a space after it, which they then included when they copied it back out, and that space would make the token invalid. So if you're having an error, first check that. If not, there could be some other issues going on that I could help you check out. But at this point, you're going to move on to the next video and get the other part of our programs here, Visual Studio Code, set up and ready to go.